All right, we are going to start our first chapter, official chapter. This is called Unit 2, but it's our first official chapter. The scientific method we just sort of skim through really quickly because it is a review from last year and because we'll use it often the next couple of years. So you'll be pros at it by the time that you leave me. Um, but I do like to mention it at the start of every year just to get you back into the flow of things. So this is characteristics of life. You can title your notes characteristics of life. Remember, you can pause this video, rewind it as many times as you want to. Um, if you want, while we're on NTI, you can take your notes on Google Docs. If there's something, of course, I tell you to draw out, you need to draw that out. And if you want to handwrite all these notes, that's fine too. It's just up to you. But you are responsible for taking your notes. You're responsible for knowing what's going on in every unit. So if you need help, let me know. Don't just pretend like you do it and then don't do it. Don't just not watch the videos and just act like you do, because you're only going to hurt yourself. Okay. So characteristics of life is a really fun chapter because it gets us going into my favorite branch of science, which is biology. And we will talk a lot about these characteristics of life. It will take us quite a while to get through these notes because even in class it takes us several days. But it's going to take even longer on NTI because I'm not going to post a 45-minute video for you to watch every day for 3 days. That's crazy. In class, it's a little bit different because we get to interact and we get to move at whatever pace we need to move at based on how the class is doing. But on NTI, I have no idea how we need to move, based on how you're doing, how you're understanding the material. So we're going to go pretty slowly through these notes. So today, actually, you're really not going to take any real notes. You're just going to jot some ideas down. So this is a really easy day for notes. So characteristics of life. Normally in class, I would ask you this question: what makes something alive? And I would ask you to work for 15 seconds by yourself and write down every single thing that you can think of that makes something alive. That's something that every single thing that's alive in the world has in common. And that may be hard to think about. You may think everything breathes. You may think that everything moves, everything eats. That could be some things that you think about. But right now, I'd like for you to jot those down. Really think about that. What what are some things that make something alive? What do you have to have in order to be considered alive scientifically? So you can pause this video and write down some ideas if you want to. Next, I play this video. We'll talk about, normally in class we talk about it. We get all of our ideas. What did we think as a class made something alive? And I'd have a big piece of chart paper or I'd use the board and I'd write down all these great ideas that you have. Then I'll play you this video, and I will play it today, and you can watch it. Um, and it will make you think about characteristics of life. It may address what some things that you said, and it may sort of change your thinking a little bit. So let's go ahead and play this video. If the sound doesn't work for this video, that's okay. It should, but if it doesn't for some reason on your end, that's okay. It doesn't say anything. It just plays some like really dramatic music, and that's all. So go ahead and watch this video. So I told you that was going to be dramatic music. So this hopefully made you, it may have addressed some of the things, like I said, that you thought about whenever I asked you to think about characteristics of life, what makes something be alive. And it probably made you sort of change your thinking or maybe second guess yourself. You may have thought about reproduction. You may have said, well, living things reproduce, they make more of their own kind. But fire reproduces. Like, there's a fire here, and then later there could be more fire other places. Clouds reproduce, things like that. We'll talk about the truths and the myths about each of these things that the video sort of introduced to you in the next video. So again, I just want you to think. Maybe you have wrote some things down, and now you're thinking, okay, maybe I need to change what I've written. Maybe I need to add to it. Maybe there are some things that I thought made something alive, but maybe non-living things have those characteristics too. Go ahead and just change. Don't. I don't want you to like erase or delete what you put originally. If you're going to change it, I want you to just add to it. You may cross through something or something like that. If you're typing on docs, maybe underline the things that you originally thought and then bold the things that you thought now or something like that. Um, or put them into categories. But I don't want you to ever go back and erase because that is really important. If you read in the scientific method cheat sheet, you should remember from last year, your hypothesis doesn't have to match your conclusion. That's not the point. You're not right or wrong. You are learning. So I want you to see how you have sort of changed your thinking already. But that's all for this set of notes. So this is day one. It's over. Where we watched that video that took up a lot of our time. So in the next video, we'll start actually writing down notes from the chapter. So if you have any questions ever, please let me know. Remember, you can go back and watch this video as many times as you want. But if you need anything, let me know. I hope to see you guys soon.